background, and I can give them, I can educate them through the process. I also like to oversee their whole transaction, and sometimes buyers and sellers don't see what goes on behind the scenes. And sometimes it's best that they don't see because there's so many people involved in one transaction. You have the buyer, you have the seller, you have their agents, their assistants, you have loan officers, you have processors, underwriters, appraisers, termite companies, home inspectors, escrow officers, title officers. So there's so much that's involved in one transaction. And a lot of times the buyers or sellers don't see what goes on behind. And it's best because sometimes it could be more stressful. So I like to take care of all of that for them and take that away so that they have a fun and stress-free experience.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Now, let's stretch your expertise here. What's a good area to look at?
Well, that all depends. That all depends on every buyer because every buyer is different.
Okay.
I would say I do have buyers that range from the San Bernardino area, the Inland Empire, LA County. And it really just depends on what the buyer is looking for. I don't gear them towards a certain area, but I could guide them based on what they're looking for and their price points.
Okay. All right. Do you get into any of the qualification process? You said early on, they should get pre-qualified. So I see a house and I call the number and it's your listing and I say, I'm interested in this house, and we sit down and talk. What happens from there?
I absolutely am involved in the qualification process. I don't do it personally, but I make sure that I know who's pre-qualifying you, that I'm in contact with the person who's pre-qualifying you, and I want to know what they're giving you as far as your interests. Are they going to help you with any type of concessions, any credits? And of course, I need to know the amount that you're qualified for. What is your down payment? Because then that's where I step in. And it's just a relationship that you build with the loan officer.
Okay. I watch a lot of that, let's see, TV, housing and HDTV, or where they sell houses. And some of it I think is a little unreal, but some I think may be real. Do you take your clients on as many as 6, 7 visits and give them a choice of what to look at, and set them down and say, come back when you want to know?
Oh yeah, we've been to more than 6, 7 visits, and in some cases wrote even more than 10, 12, 15, 20 offers before their offer got accepted.
Wow.
Yeah, so sometimes I love these shows. What I do when I get home is I watch those shows, and they're great. And sometimes they're a little unrealistic when their offers get accepted right away, and that's not the way it works in real life. Sometimes their offer doesn't get accepted, and that's something that we have to deal with, and we have to prepare the buyers for that. And there's a lot of buyers right now. Like I mentioned, the rates are low. They are very low, and the property prices are still they're in the lows. So buyers are definitely jumping on, and the housing market is back. So we definitely have a lot of buyers, and more buyers than we have sellers at this point.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give these 2 minutes to you. I want people to remember you. So whatever you want to say in the next 2 minutes is yours.
Thank you, Anthony. And yes, if they would like to have a consultation with me, they can reach me at 562-217-5660. That's my direct number. And we can have a conversation. We just want to know where you are. Have you been pre-qualified? What is your situation? Do you want to sell your property? Do you want a free market analysis? Do you want to know what your home is worth? Are you going through a process where you might have to do a short sale? And, that is obviously something that we can discuss and go over. Any questions that any of your listeners have, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Okay. All right. Hey, you still got a little bit more. Come on. Tell me. This is your time to brag.
Whatever questions, Anthony, that the listeners may have. Sometimes there's people who, are not very comfortable with the whole short sale process, and I can guide them through that. As far as sellers, sometimes they may have questions or they may be behind on payments, and, anything like that, we can definitely answer for them.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Do you have a website?
The website is covina.prucarealty.com.
Okay. All right. Give that to me again here.
Covina, like the city of Covina, .prucarealty.com.
Okay. I thank you. Well, I give you 10 more seconds, so what do you want to do from there? Give me that phone number one more time.
It's area code 562-217-5660, and I'd love to hear from the audience.
Well, I'd love for you to call in and give her any of your questions. Thank you for being my guest, and I know someone's going to call.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Sykes Accounting and Consulting Radio Show. We'll be right back. This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting Radio Show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
This segment sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more Mucho Macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
Ticketsurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4-199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. Ticketsurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4-199.
You're listening to What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicki, that airs every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch us on rantradionetwork.com. If you're one of the most successful people in the world, I want to talk to you. I want to know how you got there, where you're going, and who you're giving back to. So call me at 855-969-7268 and check in with me, the most successful people in the world.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concept, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
Welcome to Sykes Accounting and Consulting Radio Show. I am your host, Anthony Sykes. Radio Network. Please give us a call, 855-693-4897. One of the things I'd like to talk to you about, as I've said before, our show is about small business and having you make your business more profitable. Also about starting a business if that's what you're going to do. So I'd like you to take a look to visit our website at www.sykesaccounting.com. And from there, it shows a lot of the things that we do, what we specialize in. I'd like you to sign up for our newsletter. We do a monthly, we're actually looking at doing a bi-monthly newsletter. But before that, on this website, I'd like you to go to seminars because we have some good seminars coming up. At the bottom of the page on there, you'll see seminars. And if you click on that, it will tell you about our upcoming seminars. And I'd like to talk about the upcoming ones. The first one on the 18th of this month is a really big one. That's the sponsors are Senator Fran Paley, City of Thousand Oaks, California Chamber of Commerce, and the Greater Conejo Chamber of Commerce. This is one of those series of small business seminars that's given by the IRS. Board of Equalization is the one that heads this up, but other participating agencies will be EDD, the Franchise Tax Board, the SBA, and the SBDC. It's for any new business owners, entrepreneurs, people who are looking to become entrepreneurs, professionals who have questions about running their business, and anybody who just has a thought of, okay, should I jump into it or not? And on previous shows, I've talked about that. Now, what makes this one really good is IRS has asked me to do the tax portion for them, and I'm really excited about that. Now, I have two others coming up. One June 26th, and that's at the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation on Southwestern Avenue. And it's for federal taxes and employee versus independent contractor. The next one I have is coming up in July 23rd, which is next month. It's at the same location, Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation, 6109 Southwestern Avenue, and that's in LA 90047. And that's going to be for sole proprietors. That's a workshop. IRS has asked me to give these 3 workshops and seminars, and I hope you can attend. Now, going to my website, you can see how to sign up and where to go. But I'm hoping that you can, because there's a lot of good information from a lot of agencies there that you should take a look at. Now, some of our main business, as I always say, we're about small business, not the size, but just the size and not the dollars. Every small business wants to grow up to be a big business in dollars. So how do you do that? There are 10, and actually more, but I want to talk about 10 issues or problems facing small business. And the biggest one is the uncertainty of it all. We are in a recession. However, we're coming out of that recession, but we just don't know where we are. If you are a small business like myself, you're not sure how far you should go, how far you should plan ahead. I can't tell you. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. I wish I could see the future, because I would have gotten that Powerball. And then that would have assured my future would have been bright. But my future is bright because I know business, and what I'm going to do is give you some of that knowledge to help you in your business. Uncertainty is the result of not doing enough planning. And so what you need to do is set a goal. What do you want to do? How much growth do you want your company to have? How much in sales? So you look at, let's say you want 5% more sales than the year before, or maybe the month before. Now, with that, you look at your expenses, because you don't want to have 5% more sales and have a 2% loss. That's not doing very well unless you expect that loss in order to get ahead to 10% net profit the next time. So uncertainty, the best way to combat that is really to plan. Is to sit down, and planning is a lot, takes a lot. Running a business isn't easy. If it's easy, everybody would do it. So you need to combat that uncertainty by putting as many certain things down as you can. If you're uncertain about your marketing, you contact people about marketing. What do I need to do to get the name of my business out there? What would work best for my business? If you're uncertain about the expenses, you sit down with people who can help you analyze those expenses, analyze your business to where you now have taken a lot of uncertainty out. We don't know what the economy is going to do, but we do know one thing. Somebody out there needs your product or service, so you have to find them. How you do that is where you're taking the uncertainty out from. Globalization. We hear that all the time. What does that mean? Well, what that means is that companies, big companies in particular, are all around the world. Now, you can kind of go global too. If you are on the internet, if you know how to work the internet, you can make your company global. Now, if you produce a product, if you're making pens and you want to sell them in Europe, hey, that's a way of going global. You now have to find those markets there in Europe or in China or wherever you want to market those pens or sell those pens, and now you do that. I had a company contact me from China. They were looking to sell furniture here in the U.S. Now, one of the things they didn't understand, and if you're going to go global, you must understand, is that every country and possibly every province or state in that country is a little different. Here we have 50 states, and each one of those states are different. So to do business in these states, each one having a different law, you must understand that. We understand that here in the United States. Doing business in Arizona is a little different than doing business in California, as well as doing business in Nevada or Washington State. So getting back to my example, a prospect had emailed me about doing business in the United States. They wanted to open up a foreign corporation. That's easy enough to do. However, getting the tax ID for that foreign corporation is a little complicated procedure, and I let them know. I also let them know about getting the UPC codes. They wanted to open up a bank account. That they could not do because of the current laws. You have to be here. They have to have some identification in order for you not to be thought of as an international criminal or terrorist. And I let them know that. So I told them the time involved and the cost involved. I don't know what they want to do, but they have a little more information than they did before they contacted me. And that's what you would have to do if you wanted to go global. Innovation. Now, what innovation is, it means thinking about the future. What can I do a little different than what's being done now? How can I create this shortcut for myself without losing any integrity or losing any of the security of the product or whatever you want to call it? So if you do that, if you innovate, if you come up with something new, that puts you ahead of your competition. I guess one way of coming up with innovation in my industry, the accounting, tax, consulting industry, we have, and this is not new, it started slowly, and oddly enough, I don't know who created it, but everyone is familiar with a screen, your monitor that goes with your computer. Well, now the standard in my industry is 2 monitors. And somewhere along the line, someone thought about, okay, if I look at the current input that I'm doing on a tax return, I'd like to see what I did last year, or I'd like to see what that input looks like on a finished return. So that's what the next monitor does. It shows as I'm inputting in tax information, then the other screen shows me what it looks like. So if I need to make a change, all I need to do is look at the completed product and I can say, oops, that's not what I'm trying to do, make a change on the input, and I can see the output immediately. Or I can look at what the client had brought in for the previous year and compare it to what they're bringing in for this year. And that innovation makes it easier for me to do the tax return. Well, I'll talk to you a little more after the break. You're listening to the Sykes Accounting and Consulting Radio Show. We'll be right back.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the 3 guys Rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
TheTicketSurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4-199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. TheTicketSurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4-199.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
We are the 3 Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE3GUYS.
It's not the 3 guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS, G-U-Y-S, and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Welcome to Sykes Accounting and Consulting Radio Show. I am your host, Anthony Sykes. Over 10 problems faced by small businesses. I invite you to give me a call at 855-969-7268 or 855-693-4897 and give me your questions. Or you can send me an email and I will answer your question on the next show. My email address is asykes@sykesaccounting.com. Now, top 10 problems faced by businesses. We were on to number 4, and that's regulation. Tax laws are constantly changing now, and unfortunately, they're changing at the end of the year as opposed to the beginning or middle of the year, which gives you a little more time to plan. But not only are tax laws changing, but possibly the regulations in your particular industry. Now, there's not a whole lot of ways to deal with that, to combat that. The only thing you can do is listen and read your trade magazines or any newspaper or internet articles that talk about or follow your particular industry so you can keep ahead of those things. Otherwise, you can be caught off guard. And the last thing you want to do is be caught off guard. Now, the biggest thing coming up this year, obviously, is healthcare. The Obamacare, the Act, a lot of it is taking place or starting or in place this year. So if you have a business of 25 employees or more, you need to pay some attention to how you're going to handle that. If you have less than that, you still need to pay attention, but not as much. And if you have more than 50, well, you're doing something, or you should have done something by now. So I'll be talking a little more about healthcare and how that's going to affect small businesses in particular as we go out through the summer. One of the things I did not mention as the Internal Revenue Service, and I will here on regulation. This year, actually this past May, they actually were closed the May 24th, the entire day. That meant the entire IRS was closed. So no matter where you called, you didn't get an answer. The phone would just ring and ring. All the offices were closed. They were on furlough. There are going to be 5 to 7 more furlough days this summer. And how will that affect you? How will that affect business? I don't know. Now, I don't know if you think that's a good thing that IRS is closed or a bad thing, but remember, IRS collects 93% of the revenues that go into the government. There is a budget cut. They have been put on furlough because of a budget shortfall. Their job is to assess and collect revenue. So I would think, and this is just me thinking, they are going to increase the audits and increase collection efforts to bring in more money. And we'll talk about that on another show and so on. I just wanted to toss that out under regulation. Technology. Technology is always changing, whether it be computer or laptop. Now, laptops are outpacing, unless you have an actual office, you're working with a laptop or a tablet. Both are very mobile. The tablet is the most mobile of all, and the only difference is on the tablet, you don't have a space for a DVD. And so if you don't need that, you can conduct business from almost anywhere, and your office can be virtual, which actually frees up a lot of people because now they can go and they network continually all day, keep track of their business, and move. So if your competition is getting a lot more mobile, then you should consider that yourself. Diversity. Diversity is I guess means different things to different people, but in this case, it's the subset of human capital. And what I mean by diversity, you can have people who don't necessarily agree with what your philosophy is. Now, if they're too disagreeable, you need to change something. But you want a new set of ideas. You don't want your ideas always there. You want a challenge to that, because that's going to help you grow. That's going to help you go back to item number 3, innovation. That's going to help you think about what is it that you want to do in terms of dealing with your competition. Complexity. Business has gotten a lot more complex over the years, mostly because of everything else. You have globalization, you have more regulation, you have a lot of different things now that you may not have had to deal with even just 10 or 15 years ago. So if you're starting your business out now, you have actually choices on how you want to work your business. It can be very mobile. Everyone, if you have an office, can have a laptop, and they could basically commute from home. So your office might be a virtual office. You might rent space in one of these companies that sell a conference room, or rent a conference room so that you can have meetings. They have a shared secretarial staff, so someone's answering the phone, but you don't really go there, but maybe once a month or once a week, I should say, to pick up your mail. So business has gotten a lot more complex because now you're not necessarily sure how big the company that you're dealing with really is. So you have to work a little harder to make sure that they can do what it is that they say they're going to do. Also, because of all the other things going on, it may be a little longer to get something done. Information overload. I get easily 300-400 emails a day. Now, I happen to get a lot of newsletters, mostly because I want to see what not only a competition is doing, but also I'd like to see new and different ideas out there. So I try to read them. Well, I can't read them all. If I did, I'd spend my whole day reading newsletters and I wouldn't get any taxes done. So I have an information overload. I have to pick a certain amount of time in which I read this, and I pick my times after work on a weekend, and I read most of my newsletters. Supply chains. Well, a lot of times this really is if you have more so companies that manufacture, but it can also refer to a service or distribution company. A supply chain is really when you get your goods in, and now companies are going shorter. I've ran across a prospect that that wanted to ship from a long distance, well, they're going in the opposite direction. Most companies now are ordering just in time, so that means you need to keep a warehouse near where your particular customer is. So when they call up and say, I need a truckload of something tomorrow, that it can actually get there tomorrow, or they're going to another supplier. And the last one is problem solving. Businesses have problems. They're not going to go away. It's problems that are particular to your industry. Then there are problems that are business problems particular to your particular business, and you have to figure out how you're going to solve them. And you need to have a set plan. You need to plan on these problems popping up. There's always emergencies. In my particular business, we deal with a lot of emergencies. So I try to have a strategy for when an emergency comes up, and I can handle it. Sometimes there is an emergency on top of an emergency, and we scramble. But that's what we do. Our business is really helping other businesses solve their problems. Now, in our remaining time left, what I like to do is, again, direct you back to our website, because I'd like you to sign up for our newsletter. If you go to the website, www.sykesaccounting.com, there is a newsletter sign up, and we'll send you a newsletter that has a lot of the tips that I'm talking about today, sometimes in the future, some of those in the past. But what we want to do, what our mission is to help your business grow, is to help your business reduce its cost, and most definitely help you keep more of what you've earned. That's our philosophy. And in the coming weeks, I intend to have more guests because, again, if you're starting a business, if you are in business, the one thing you need to have is a group of people that help you with your business. A larger business has all these people there, but as a small business, you can't afford it, therefore you don't have it, and you try to do it all yourself. Well, most small business owners really know their product or their service, but they don't necessarily know enough about everything else. So what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks is bringing guests who help you make your business grow and become successful. Until the next time, I'm Anthony Sykes. Make it a good week. You're listening to the Sykes Accounting and Consulting Radio Show. We'll be right back.
Rant Radio Network is looking for you. Are you into radio, voiceovers, production, media, marketing, design?